Oh. Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Watcher, and I'm going to be your host today on the Council on Future Conflict. Unfortunately, as you can see, Scott is unable to make it, at least for the start. We're hoping that he'll be able to join us here in about 15 to 30 minutes. We'll find out. But fortunately, I am joined today by my favorite rogues gallery, shall we say, Mr. Dolio. How are you doing this morning?
I think you just called me a rogue. But
well, I think all of us, yeah. I mean, come on,
we're all maritime rogues. We're like pirates, Vikings, whatever.
Pretty much.
It's a marine morning. The sun is just poking over the trees here in northwest Montana. I could just see it out this little window. I can see the hole that Don drilled in the wall here. Inside joke, long story, but I think
you know.
Is it in? Can you feel it yet? But
I'm penetrating that wall, damn it.
So it was a fun camera installation. Let me just say that. You know what? I'm doing pretty good. We had a really good Sons of Liberty show last night, and it led to me and Matt texting away into the wee hours because we had so much fun on the show. Hey, who knows? This could be our last 2 weeks of shows before communism sets in and full on censorship happens. So let's enjoy it. Let's have fun today.
Yeah, Joe, I just got to say, when we're in the gulag, I call top bunk. Just getting that out of the way now.
That's probably best. The warm air rises. I'll just warn you of that. Here's another good piece of news from Montana. Andrew Dolio, Dolio the Younger, arrives tonight on the train from Flint, Michigan, and we're going to do some hiking and hanging out for the next couple of weeks. So, looking forward to that.
We're going to have to start referring to you guys as Dolio the Elder and Dolio the Younger.
If you ever refer to me as Dolio the Elder, I'll stab you in the eyeball.
Come on, man! It's
would you prefer geriatric Dolio?
Use just like this little knife, so it doesn't go too deep. I want you to remain alive and feel the pain.
I'm just saying, we're taking it from Pliny, man. That's all. Don, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing good. Like seriously good. It's been incredibly good around here, as some may have noticed, even on this panel. I now have people buying eggs and advertising it for me, which is always good.
Nice. The egg empire is ever growing. Always
Indeed.
Good to hear.
Speaking of which, actually, as long as I'm here and we're discussing that I sell eggs, and if you happen to be anywhere near the panhandle of Texas, chances are very good I will at some point be near you and probably have eggs if you ask for them.
So
they're damn good eggs. It was
pretty interesting that you met up with our mutual friend Juan there. So That tells me things are in the works.
Oh, things are always in the works.
I love that dude. That dude is awesome. I should be wearing his patch today.
Maybe I love that dude too, and I've got some work I need to do for that dude, but it's gonna have to go on the back burner until we get all this moving done.
Yeah, that does get in the way of all the things.
It sure as hell does.
And, all right, guys. I don't think I don't see your comment down there. You already know you're getting stabbed. So.
Yours basically has an appointment made, Hunch. Well, just before we move anywhere else, let's just say fine thumbnail today. I think it's one of the best thumbnails we've ever had. Some people say that it's the greatest thumbnail of all time. I think maybe just kind of a mediocre. Pretty good thumbnail. Pretty good. The rhetoric heats up and prep for the steal. 434 episodes, gents. That's not nothing.
It's not. It's not. I also have a memo here. Going forward, in response to her wishes, referred to as Kamala, I propose a pause right in the middle. Come Allah.
Yeah. Workable.
Yeah, very doable.
All right, gents. Well,
I presume she'll like that better than Camel A, which is what I call her most of the time.
What happened to Camel B? Moving on, though, gents. So we've got a pretty good show for today. We tried to we know we're starting late, so we tried to pack it in such a way that we end at roughly the same time. But in order to do that, we got to get into it. So let's start off with the odds and ends, then, shall we? Gents, we've been warning about this for quite a long time, and I think a lot of people have been like, "Oh, BRICS isn't all that real. It's not like they have their own currency or anything." Well, they came out this morning and issued a banknote. It's an outcome that alternative economists have long predicted as inevitable: the dumping of U.S. dollar, the world reserve currency, and the petro currency by the BRICS nations in favor of a new multi-currency system or basket system. For decades, the dollar has reigned supreme as the most favored currency for international trade, replacing the British pound sterling officially after the Bretton Woods Agreement of 1944. And yeah, now they're developing an actual banknote system based on their baskets of currency, and this is what they've come up with, gents. I've seen some, we'll just say, creative interpretations.
All right.
What
the hell am I looking at?
This is the BRICS note.
It's literally a euro, but with different colors.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I
saw it. What's the name of the currency?
Let's see. BRICS bill is all I've seen so far, but I did see somebody transpose a couple of hands here to make it into a piece of famous old internet art. Monetary goatsy. There it is. Yeah. Exactly correct. But yeah, I don't know, man. I mean, you can say it looks like funny money all you want. So does ours.
Yeah, well, you're not wrong there. I mean, ridiculous as it looks, that is actually a super big deal. The capability to trade in any multi-country note is going to, for anybody who doesn't understand this, is going to push USD out of all of the BRICS countries because they're just going to start trading that silly looking thing. So when inflation explodes here because all of those countries start sending USD back, remember that goofball looking thing is what did it.
Yeah, we would rather they keep the money than dump it all right back into our own system, because then we have to produce for it. I think they really would miss the boat if they didn't call it the brick. It was down on the U.S. dollar like a load of bricks. So
got 100 brick note. How many bricks for a brick? How many bricks for a brick, Joe?
Depends. Old brick or a silver brick?
Well, it's it's fun sometimes to laugh at the light barreling down the tunnel towards you.
Good news is that they could just repurpose an old Kit Kat commercial. Give me a break. They can give me a brick.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a beautiful thing.
It's made. It's a match made in heaven.
Jake Clark, well done. The blick. Can I pay for my fly lice with a brick?
2 blicks, please.
Oh man, we should get the Lethal Weapon clip for that.
The term shitting bricks.
Well, see, that right there, that's what the cash mules are going to be doing.
Speaking of shitting bricks, it appears, gents, that somebody in the Department of Defense may have heard a certain rant that maybe a certain very, very handsome, incredibly talented co-host and producer has been saying for over a decade about the fact that, hey, if we keep swatting $10,000 drones out of the air with $100 million missiles, that is entirely unsustainable. And so we have now come out with a study stating that.
Hey, maybe we shouldn't send a $25 million rocket after a $16 drone.
We called that study the Cold War up until recently.
Yeah. So Navy needs advanced guns and cheaper missiles to defend against drone swarms. You don't say.
Say this is so, Watcher.
It's amazing. So, as it stands, the Navy is paying far too much for missiles, but getting more value out for our defense dollars is gained in urgency as we have been seeing the proliferation of cheap drones costing well under $20,000. Yep.
This just popped into my head for some random reason. But on that last story, we really missed an opportunity to use the girl on the couch meme. We could have put a US dollar on the couch.
Bunch of bricks.
Oh, man. All right. Anyway.
Honestly, gents, it's good to see them realize that it's a deficit. The sad part is that most of their ideas for how to make us a little better involve shit that either doesn't work or doesn't exist. All we need to do, guys, is design a more cost-effective missile. Yes, we're the U.S. Defense Department, our supply chain can totally come up with cheap weapons. Let me tell you, we've absolutely geared the entire thing for that. Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, I think the last one we developed was the Sherman tanks, so we've got a good track record to roll.
Right? Yeah. Oh man. So yeah.
Actually, I guess that's not true. The M79 thump gun was pretty cheap.
Or the China Lake, the China Lake grenade launcher, I guess.
Right. Right.
Gee, there's a weird similarity between all these things you've been talking about. It's almost as if if most of those were invented by Marines. Weird.
Actually, an interesting concept. With the old 40 millimeter beehive round be effective against a drone?
That's
actually a really good question.
Man, yeah. Well, if you put a VT fuse on it, it would be a portable cannon.
Yeah, you're talking about a man-operated 100-meter distant flat cannon.
From a civilian standpoint, I will just point out that for that 38 millimeter civilian version launcher you can buy, they make an 18 round 22 caliber.
Yeah, they do.
One trigger pull, you fire all 18 of the rounds.
Oh, I've seen that. What do you call that? The Swarm or something?
Yeah, you don't have to register it as a destructive device until you load it. And then immediately call the ATF and tell them we just loaded this really cool thing.
I love it. But yeah, guys.
In a strange circumstance, I think Bill Clinton has taken care of this for all of us, which is to say, the policy is don't ask, don't tell.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that. Well, gents, I hate to tell you this, but the Navy is going to hear the words, we need a cheaper way to deal with drones. And the way they're going to do that is to pump billions of dollars into a laser program.
How'd I know?
Because that's what we needed.
The problem with any laser program is that science fiction to the contrary. Using a laser to destroy an object in flight requires time because it has to heat up the object.
Correct.
And by then the thing is moved and you therefore are no longer pointing your laser at it.
Well, so years and years and years ago, they developed a laser that would do this. And the method by which they did that is they put a tracking device on the drone. That was the targeting computer for the laser.
It's kind of like
it works.
We're falling back on our history. Does anybody remember how they tested the paveway bombs ability to track heat signatures?
Yes.
They put hot plates on the top of the target vehicle.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, anybody surprised by this is not paying attention. All right, gents. Speaking of interesting U.S. military projects, Ukraine troops increasingly refusing orders and deserting at exponential rates.
By the way, I'm going to say this. I said this to Watcher once already. You may be cool. And you may have all the coolest drip. In fact, I've got some new South African drip arriving, but you will never be Makarov in the Kydex behind the hip cool.
Facts.
First of all, it's bad enough that they made you carry a Makarov. Then they put it in that. Oh, man.
This right here is pretty literally the meme. Everybody wants to be a gangster until it's time to do gangster shit.
Pretty much, yes. I will say though that does look like an actual original issue Bakelite
Makarov.
The handguard.
I don't even think they issue the Makarov anymore in the Russian army. They issue the Grok.
Oh, yeah, no, I mean, this looks like it was issued by the Soviets and has been maintained in exactly the correct condition until just now.
The Ukrainians were like, hey, look, we still have. Let's use.
So, the Ukrainian press...
being the holster designer when you got a call from the Ukrainian... like, you want a Kydex for a what?
For what? Oh, wait, over the waist? Hold on a minute. Ukrainian prosecutor's office has opened 51,000 cases of desertion through the first 9 months of this year alone.
Wow.
The numbers of soldiers abandoning their post is likely double last year's total. The Times of London reported data from the Ukrainian government's office showing that 51,000 criminal cases were initiated for desertion and abandonment of a military unit. Hey, and remember, they only open those cases once they catch you.
Uh-huh.
Huh.
Yeah.
Can I put that size into context for anybody who doesn't know?
Oh, please do.
At the peak of GWAT troop sizes, Camp Lejeune, North Carolina, was 42,000 Marines.
So just imagine every swinging dick on Lejeune plus every swinging dick on Paris Island.
Right.
All leaving. Just deuces, I'm out.
Oh, man. That is an insane number of desertion cases.
Yeah. Keeping in mind that Ukraine really is significantly smaller than us as well. So, El Pas previously noted that 45,000 Ukrainians were being prosecuted for desertion from the start of the year through August. Al Jazeera says the number is at least 30,000 desertions. At the start of the year, Kiev was estimated to have between 5,800,000 active duty soldiers.
Oh my God, they're being decimated by desertion.
Turns out, I just got an update. It turns out none of these guys actually deserted. They were all just running around looking for 9x18 millimeter ammo. Versus the 9x19 that every other pistol in the world has.
Ukrainians
on their way to Cabela's.
Well, here's the crazy part to me, guys. This is just desertions. Imagine when you add casualties onto this number.
Oh, yeah.
Oh man. Well, if only we could find out what a real casualty number for them was.
Oh, God, yeah. Kiev has struggled to fill its ranks with fresh soldiers, leading Ukraine to drop its conscription age from 27 to 25, as Kiev is still facing manpower. Wait, hold on. What? I've seen you conscripting 16-year-olds. What do you mean dropped it to 25? Get fucked. As Kiev is still facing manpower shortages, American politicians are pushing Ukraine to drop the draft age to 18. Again, can we stop pretending that you guys haven't been pulling every 16-year-old?
I mean, the conscription rules seem to be, if you can physically hold up an AK-47, we're conscripting you.
Pretty much. One Ukrainian who deserted told the Times that prison was a better option than the military because at least in prison, you know you'll be able to leave.
I mean, not wrong, but also, bruh.
Fair.
I'm also pretty sure that the gay sex is better in the Ukrainian military than it is in the Ukrainian prison.
Well, there you have it. The number of Ukrainians that Kiev is prosecuting for desertion has significantly increased throughout the war. In 2020, the number was 9,000.
Hey, Calveris, in response to your question about AKMs or 74s, I don't think the Ukrainians ever had the 74. They have all AKMs and AK-47s, but they also got, what is that rifle we saw all of the contractors using? Some Spanish version of the G3 or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
That popped up too. So they're a random mix of mostly everything, but they're still on the old school AK-47 plan. So whether the AKM upgrade or the AK-47, that's what they have. So.
Facts. All right, gents. Well, we have officially completed our odds and ends segment of the show today. Joe, why don't you tell the good folks about what's going on over at Tactical Wisdom?
So now that I finally got all of my stuff moved and I'm not traveling quite as much until next week, I got a bunch of articles written this week. I got out some really good knife reviews over on the Tactical Wisdom one. So I reviewed some knives by Salty Medic on Twitter, some very good knives, and a couple by Shield Arms. So check those out, learn a little bit about the cool guy knives that are out there. And I listed in the article that I'm perfectly willing to test anybody's knives. So if you're a knife manufacturer, feel free to send me knives.
Well, speaking of knives,
turn them down.
Speaking of knives and the ability to get them without your significant other wanting to kill you, did I see correctly while I was out there that Shield Arms also has some kitchen knives?
Yes, they have the kitchen Sayax, kind of like an old school Viking knife, but it's a kitchen knife, and it's really, really nice. So that's the way to cover it. You go, honey, look what I bought you.
Exactly.
Slide the partisan field knife on your belt, right?
Exactly.
They ought to offer a deal, right? The husband cover deal. But,
oh yeah.
So the funny thing is I walked in there Monday to get the knife to buy it at the store, and Stan and Brandon were both sitting in the coffee shop when I walked in. I'm like, is this an intervention or something? Like, I'm not going to stop you from spending money in my store. Right, fair. Anyway, so there is that. And then I also posted up a couple of articles over on Locals that I did not lock down as subscriber only. So one is a review of a book by Aiden Tate, The King of the South, on Prepper Communications. It's actually a really, really good book. A lot of serious information in there. And then the other article I wrote, I don't even. Man, I had it and I lost it. Just a minute. I wrote one more and I can't even remember what it was. It was so good I can't even remember.
Oh, that's all right. We'll get it here in a second.
Oh, whoops! Anyway, but there's some articles out there. Get out there and look at them. Class-wise, there are still some seats for next weekend's Tennessee class in Petersburg, Tennessee, where you will get to see me, Bayonet Jay Clark, and then Dr. Clark will try to patch up his son right there on the site. It's going to be really, really cool. There will probably be whiskey. There will definitely be an attempt to get people lost in the wilderness with the map and compass. There will be good times. So come on out for that. And then after that, 2 weeks later, the 15th to the 17th, we have community security ops down just kind of southeast of Springfield, Missouri. So we got that going on. And then the next thing on the schedule, 2 big things on the schedule is January. We have, I'm going to do a knife class, and Kay is going to do Ground Rod 2 right here at Camp Ponderosa. And Matt just committed to coming out here probably the first week in May and doing an RTO, an advanced RTO here at Camp Ponderosa. So good times, lots of good classes, good stuff.
Father Abraham says you wrote the article on an article on Ground Rod Level 1.
Oh, right. Ground Rod Level 1. Where is he at? I don't see him anywhere. Oh, he's on Twitter, right?
Yeah, he's on the Twitter one. Well, Don, are you back yet?
I am.
Excellent. What do you got for the folks before we?
I don't know. So much has changed in my life. Some might say relatively recently, as of a couple of months ago, that it's been somewhat hard to make regular plans all of a sudden. But there is hypothetically going to be a return to content making. I think a lot of it is going to end up behind the paywall, much to my chagrin. But what are you going to do? I think that is what's happening. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but I do know that it's coming.
Well, do you want to make the other thing you apparently know for sure that you and I have discussed? Might make some folks here a little happy.
I don't know what that is, so
pardon
maybe.
I'm going to be involved.
Oh, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So, in the world of way too much is going on in my life, almost none of which is on the internet at the moment. At some point, there will be a Dawn and Watcher show. I don't know when, because every time I try to plan something, it goes out the window. But it's coming soon, TM.
Yeah.
I would like to point something out here, Don. There are 2 different aspects of your life in which I get to say, I told you so.
Oh, man.
And
I don't know where you get off limiting yourself to 2.
Yeah, I was going to say, Joe.
It's almost like they call me Joe Stradamus. And I predicted 2 significant things in Don's life and been right. And actually, your wife says a third, because when she called me that morning, the first thing she said was, "Yes, I know. You told him so." I'm like, okay.
Indeed. See, that right there, again, where do you get off limiting yourself to 2?
Well, if nothing else, folks, we can say this for sure. If you haven't done so already, or maybe even if you have, as you may know, Don's wife, Allison, is currently running a campaign to help cover some of their legal costs. If you wouldn't mind doing so, please head over to GiveSendGo/Don the Pleb. And
I will get cut off from cannolis if I don't do this. So I'm going to do this, and I'm sorry. While both of our wives go by Allie, her name is not Alice. My wife's name is Alice. Her name is Alicia.
I was going to let him finish first, but
well, there you go.
The cannoli thread is real. Speaking of which, dear chat, there is a now somewhat ongoing thing that is happening, which is to say, on a semi-regular basis, when I show up to Joe's class, there are cannolis.
Yeah.
Did I mention that Matt's coming here in May? So I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh man. Dependent entirely on what's going on in my life in May. There may or may not be a trip up there, and cannolis.
They get better
this time,
every time.
Don't bring a truckload of spam, please.
You know what? That's not on me, but I can pretty well guarantee that that's not going to happen.
Well, all right, folks. Well, as you may have guessed, guys, it's Friday. We kind of have a bit of a tradition on Friday, and that is that we talk about things that make our YouTube overlords unhappy, uncomfortable, wet their pants. So we're going to be heading on over to Rumble. I will drop now the link for all of you. If you're watching us over on YouTube only, we ask that you please head on over. Give this place give YouTube a like on your way out, though, before you go. But head on over to Rumble. We're going to be discussing the rest of the show over there, as we do have some quite spicy topics.
So I am saddened that we are dropping the Bongino's meme here.
We should continue the Bongino's. Yes, head over, make your reservations, grab a table, enjoy those unlimited breadsticks over at Bongino's. All right, everybody, and with that, we're going to be dropping over here on YouTube. I will see you guys on the other side of the F off YouTube video.
2, 0, 1.
It's 11:59 at Radio Free America. This is Uncle Sam with music and the truth until dawn. Right now, I've got a few words for some of our brothers and sisters in the occupied zone.
3, 6, 4, 6.
The chair is against the wall.
3, 6.
The chair is against the wall. John has a long mustache.
8, 2, 5.
John has a long mustache.
8, 2, 5, 0, 9.
It's 12 o'clock, Americans, another day closer to victory. And for all of you out there on or behind the lines, this is your song.